Sin gathers its mass, follows me, it swallows me up. I've lost my first love. Where did I go? Where did I go?
Hi, Tracy.
The sand dripping like honey, sweet to the lips, it gathers its strength. Your garden wasn't quite rich enough to savor my taste.
I do too. It gets a little radical. Come on, wake up, Astro. Wake up.
I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Singing.
I can't see. And you and all of your glory, sitting so tight, fighting for me. It seems I never choose you over me, and I gather my moss, and I can't sleep. I love you, 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 but I can't see. But you love, 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 but you love still washes me. Still washes me.
All right. Countdown's gone. I must be live. Oh, Astro. Song's gonna end. No. Song's not gonna end. It goes on. I love that song. Tracy said a minute ago, love the music. I do too. That is a song. I always forget the name of the song. It is called Versus by Taylor Turner. Versus. It is from the Music Bed, who licenses music. I gotta move my fish out of the way. It's in my way. What? A fish? That's a toy, a cat toy that I have on my desk. When the cats come into play, but I have them locked out. Eric Williamson, bless your heart, you're here. Let's get this party started is right. Thank you for popping in, Eric. Good to meet you, and thanks again for your support this morning in the Wilco group. I'm always a little nervous because I know they don't like a lot of promotion. But I did want people to know that I was going to be doing this in case They want to find out what's going on inside of the new upViral. So thank you for your support, and congratulations, by the way, to Tracy for winning a T-shirt today. I don't have mine on. I have one of my tribe shirts on. I use my upViral shirt so often that it doesn't get washed. I need to wash it for tomorrow, but you guys won't be able to see me because. But wait a minute, Tracy, aren't you there? Who's somebody I know is in the Viral Hacking Challenge right now, which Wilco mentioned this morning on the live, and Lenny, you're making me jump ahead. Eric, you're welcome. What's my favorite update? Before I get started, thank you, Lenny. I'll get to that. You pushy guy, you're pushy, and I love you too, Lenny. Before I get to that, Lenny is in what I call the Movers program. The Mothership is the membership site that I have created, and Lenny is one of my first founding members. And inside the Mothership, in the Movers Mastermind, we are doing some awesome stuff to push people forwards, because I'm a pushy kind of guy. And the goal of the Movers program is to get people moving. A friend of mine has a program that is aptly named, and there's several different ones, similar programs, called the Dream 100. And inside the Dream 100, which I am a member of, we meet on a regular basis and have open office hours and get questions answered, and we push each other to get moving. I decided not to call mine Dream 100 because I don't want this to be a dream. I want it to be something you are actively moving forwards to. And eventually it will be capped at 100. But right now, it's the first batch coming in of new people is going to be capped at 20. And so I've got 20. Slow down, Mitch. Right now I've got 12, I think. I know Tracy is thinking about it and trying to maybe move a little money around. But there are some openings still available if you want that. You'll see on the scrolling ticker as it goes by multiple times. If you go to giveawayrocket.com/join, you can get to see what the Movers is all about. And I'm going to put that up because it goes right there. But also, I'm going to share the screen for just a minute, and you can see that here is missing an image. I don't know why there's no image there. But this is inside of my shop. It is called the Movers Mastermind. It is currently $97 a month. And it will be going up after the first 20 people are up and running. The goal, again, is the Movers to get you aggressively building your business. And typically we are going to be focusing on contests and list building, referral programs, all those kind of things. In this page, there's a description who's right, who's wrong. I don't want you in here if you're boring. Ha ha! That's a little humor. Not everybody is as crazy funny as I am. I know that. I get it. Let me... I'm going to... somebody just popped into... I have to be very careful. I will... somebody's asking me. I will stop sharing my screen briefly for a moment. And somebody has just private messaged me about where this is, because she wants to be here, and I know she wants to be here, so I'm going to take just a fraction of a second to let her know. I am live on my timeline, f.pm, and that's my shortcut. Alright, thank you for the pause to let Mary Lee come over. Hopefully she can find it. Somebody else is asking. Thank you for your patience. All right. Lenny asked a few minutes ago, what is my favorite update? Now, those of you who watched Wilco this morning, and I don't know why I'm doing this motion, he talked about the new Eric, let me highlight this. Hey, there's Mary Lee. Mitch, you are a funny nut. Keep the energy high. I do try. I was just taking a nap, trying to keep my energy up for the day. Also exciting today, I know you guys don't care, but my daughter is driving from Nebraska, where she's in grad school, and we have not seen her because of the crazy COVID stuff since December, when she left, or when she was here for Christmas and she left to go back to school. We haven't seen her since then. So I'm excited to see her later this evening. So I have to have my energy up. AJ is here. Thank you for being here, AJ. AJ is also one of the movers, and he's excited to be in the movers program, if I say so on his behalf. Mary Lee is here. Bless your heart. Thank you. And again, thank you for the patience for other people that let me answer you and tell you how to get here. So going back to the question, Lenny asked, what is your favorite update? We're talking about the updates from Wilco that he announced this morning. Rita is here. Happy to have you, Rita. Thank you. My favorite piece of this is the new custom action builder. And I kind of maybe will toot my horn is because I know I did influence them a little bit on that particular behavior. So I have been working off and on with Benjamin, who is the project manager for upViral. I have not, despite what a lot of people think, although, I talk to Mark and I periodically talk to Wilco, they don't tell me what's going on. I am not, even though I'm an insider somewhat, probably more than you feel like you are, whenever I ask Mark on a call, hey, could you tell me about what you're working on? The lips get zipped and he gets a little tussled with me because he's like, Mitch, I'm not going to tell you this stuff. So I do get a little crazy sometimes in that regard because I want to be in there telling them what to build. So I do give them suggestions, and they did, Wilco did announce that they were going to be putting a couple of people into the beta for this new user interface. I did see it maybe 2 months ago, month and a half ago. I spent a little bit of time with Ben, and I didn't see it until yesterday afternoon. They let me in to see the beta, and I quickly ran through, found a couple of bugs, which they absolutely squashed before you guys got to see it this morning, which is kind of amazing. The programming staff busted their freaking tails to get this done. Now, my favorite update is the custom actions, and we're going to get to that. Now, I'm going to kind of want to walk through a lot of the changes here in just a second. And I'm here to answer questions if you guys have any questions. The key to this is that although I know I have been told in the background, I know some of you are frustrated because maybe there was a tease to it in that there might be more. There is more stuff coming. I mean, Mark has given me some really good hints. Wilco talked about the fact that there's a new editor coming. I have some hints of some of the things coming. But the key to this one is that upViral was running on 2014 technology, or 2013, 2012 technology. Our back end, the thing that we log into every day or every week or however often you go in, was patched together over the last 6-7 years and really needed a lot of work. It really did. So they have literally rewritten a lot of the back end. They didn't rewrite some of the functionality, right? The way the tool works. And so our end users right now don't see any difference. I mean, the update that Wilco talked about today really has zero, as far as I can tell, impact on them. The campaigns look, feel the same if you're running them inside of upViral. So what's happening is that we, the people in the back end, have this brand new update, and it really is kind of awesome. When you dive in and you look at how well they've constructed this and some of the things that it's doing for you, and subtle things, right? There is one big subtle thing that I don't think Wilco mentioned this morning, and that is that it's doing instantaneous saves throughout the whole process, except for the editor, which is still the old editor, and I've mentioned that they've said they are going to replace that. I have not seen the new template editor, but that's what they've said. So all the other stuff, and I'll show you how it's working, all the other stuff happens very quickly, and every time you change something, they connect to the server and upViral land, and upViral saves it. So other than the editor, everything's saved for you. So you don't have to constantly go scroll to the bottom of the page and click save every time you're doing something. The other side of it, and this will become obvious, is that the old user interface was a whole lot of different pages. There were a lot of page actions and jumping to here and jumping to there, and every one of those things was a page refresh. And like every time you did a save, there was a page refresh. This is built-in technology, and I don't know what... I'm a software guy. I spent 32 years developing software at Boeing, McDonnell Douglas. I don't know what this technology is. It's newer stuff than I ever worked with because I was laid off in 2010. But you can see that once you get in there, it's all like there's no page refreshing going on, except for a couple of times where it seems to be having a little bit of a struggle to connect to the network. Pardon me, I got fuzz on my face, those darn cats. We have 4 cats, if you don't know. And so there's some awesome stuff going on in here. Is it super sexy for the end users? No. Is it gobs of new stuff that you get to play with? A little bit. But recognize that they needed to do this. Wilco mentioned it this morning, and I've talked to Ben about it and Mark about it. They had to do this in order for us to implement them, for them to implement some of these new changes that are coming under the cover, like he had the picture of the car. I'm going to breathe. Slow down and breathe. So, with that being said, I mean, technically, Lenny, one of the cool things is the autosave. I mean, it really is different for what we've got. And so Linda said, that does sound like a good one. Linda's here. Hi, Linda. Linda's one of my movers as well. And Rita is here, by the way. And Rita is going to be a mover pretty soon. So thank you for being here. All right. I know you want to get started, but I wanted to really lay that down in that this is a very important update. Even though some of us were dreaming really bigly in the thread that Wilco asked about what they thought was coming, it's okay. There's really good stuff going on here, and I do want to do this congratulations to the upViral team, because this is significant. This really is, and it isn't about the lines of code. Wilco mentioned those 537,000 blah 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 lines of code. it's about the fact that they had to go and rewrite all that stuff. And they also, I believe, can make changes much more quickly. I literally last night, when I was trying to do my last bits of testing before going to bed, because I knew they wanted to implement it, I changed some stuff or I said there was a problem at 8 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock it was changed. And I went, holy cow. They were working really hard up until the last time that it rolled out. And so let's dive in, right? Mitch, quit blathering on. Why did that not work? Hide comment. Hide comment. My hide comment button did not work. Why is it not working? It's beeping at me. It's supposed to hide the comment. All right. That makes me a little nervous. Look at this. Eric's got a list. I'm going to post Eric's list. Custom Action Builder, which is new technology, user interface, editor rewritten and autosave, and upViral staff growth. Somebody even commented this morning, and thank you for that, Eric, that they had sent in a problem report and it was already fixed this morning. That's good news. We like that kind of stuff. So thank you for that, Eric. I am going to switch over to upViral and share my screen with you. And that still, for those of you just showing up, is my Movers Mastermind. And I'm going to mention that several times. By the way, if you go to giveawayrocket.com, which is where I live, and you go to the shop tab, then there is my store. So this is your 20-second plug. There are a lot of free things in here. And you see all of these up here at the top are free. And I just fixed there was a bug in my shop, by the way, and I just fixed it. So if you want my ultimate email collection, that's free. All you got to do is give me your email address and join my email list so I can keep you updated as to what's going on in my world. Top 10 reasons people won't share. This is a good document. A lot of fun stuff. The instant upViral campaign clone scripts. These still work because the editor is not the new one yet. So if you want to build your campaign starting with one of my templates, 2 of them actually are in here, then you can get a good start on it, and that is free. There's also the countdown timer and a whole bunch of other stuff. So there's your gratuitous plug for my shop. Now, come on, go to the dashboard. We are live in my account. You can currently see that I have 257,112 leads in my account. I am going to, by the way, build a campaign. My movers are going to watch me build it if they're interested. And I'm going to build a campaign with the new user interface. I'm not going to do it today, but my movers are going to get to watch over my shoulder to see how I build a campaign, because I need to be doing a better job of building my own list. And anyway, so there's another plug. Thank you, Eric, for posting the link again. Giveawayrocket.com/shop is the store. And why I didn't call it store, I don't know. It's called shop. Inside the new templates. See, I'm already inside the new dashboard. It's pretty much the same as the old way, right? Mary Lee just signed up. Thank you. Bless your heart. Woohoo for Mary Lee. Let's do the confetti. And why it switched to that view, I don't know. Let's go back and turn the confetti off. Thank you. Glad to have you on board. Inside the dashboard is your list of your campaigns. It's interesting because they've also added this bullet up here, and I just noticed it an hour or so ago, that this list of your leads and stuff, now you could go back and look at it for the last 15 days. And, oh, I hadn't noticed that. It shows you campaigns that you have worked on in the last 15 days. Isn't that cool? I expected it to update this, and it did. And I've gotten a whopping 11 leads, but that's because I'm not running a campaign in my account right now. I am building 2 campaigns for clients. But they will be in their own accounts. So I didn't expect it to reduce the number of campaigns that were being shown. Isn't that cool? I kind of like that. I like that. There's another one that I like. Uh-oh. Eric says he lost audio. Do you guys still hear me? It looks, my audio says it's going out. I'm looking at my volume meter and it says it's going out. Let me know if you're not hearing me, other than Eric. Or if you are hearing me, let me know, please, if you wouldn't mind. So there's a change I didn't even know was there. Although it is interesting that this says 6 leads, and when I had it at last 15, it said 11. And if I switch it to last, oh, that's last month, though, isn't it? Not this month. Okay. Linda says, I hear you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Mary Lee says, I hear you. Great. So, Eric, it's your problem. But he can't hear me. So, hi, Deborah. Thank you for being here. Deborah Lloyd is here. I appreciate you. AJ, of course, I hear you, and I appreciate you as well. Will the comments work? Now the comment thing goes away. Good. Perfect. I don't know why it wasn't working before. You can also, of course, see all of your active and inactive campaigns. And let me switch this back to all time. Some of these campaigns are just things I've been testing with and doing demos for. Which is why you don't see all of them. Now there's inactive 72 and active 25. So, I don't know, quite a few of those typically are, I shouldn't, no. Some of the recent ones are testing things, and I'm laughing because AJ said it. Eric, it's your problem. Some of these campaigns, like these down here, are something I am working on to be able to do some live, actual live campaigns. And again, that's going to be something my movers are going to hear about first. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on. Eric says, yes, sorry, Mission Control. It was my problem. Houston, we've got a problem. So let's just pick a campaign. I'm not going to create a new one just now. We're going to go into an old one. And actually, let's look at one that has live data, because that'll be better when we get to the reports. And I'm going to be fun. And I'm going to go back to the Canon Rumors one, which happened to be one of my best campaigns. We'll go into this one because it brought in, they take you right to the reports, because what they're doing in the background here is that, my belief, and I did not confirm this with Benjamin, but they're taking you to the reports if it's an older campaign, and if it's a newer campaign that's not running yet, they should be taking you to the setup tab. which I think is kind of cool. Now, what I don't care for, and I'm dragging a screen out of the way. So one of don't tell them yet. But one of the things that I don't like, right off the top, and I caveat that with the fact that today is the first time I've actually had data in the reports. All the other times that I tested, the 2 times that I tested, the campaigns weren't live. They were just test campaigns, and I couldn't even launch them in a browser to see them. So I couldn't even do the registration and all that kind of stuff. I didn't have live data to look at. So this is my first time kind of really looking at these reports. And I already know that I'm frustrated by a couple of things. One of them, this one's probably difficult, but I also know that, and I haven't reported this yet. For example, this is the main chart, and I have my window set a little bit small, and I know this is probably hard for you to see. Let me see if I can blow it up just some. When you blow it up more, then it turns into the hamburger menu and the stuff on the side goes away, which is cool. But then you can't see it. But one of the things that I haven't yet reported is this says visitors traffic conversion. And I'm not even sure what this is trying to show. This says 82% referred traffic. I guess they're just taking... See, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure I understand this number. And so the reports is the least thing that I have had time with. But this says 82% referred traffic, and this one says referred traffic. Now, there's different numbers, but this label has got to be wrong, or this one's wrong. This says, so I haven't yet figured out what this is supposed to be telling me. Yes, here's the chart of visitors and total leads. And you can turn these off and on if you click on them, right? So that's cool. But the chart that we used to have here had 6 different things that it was reporting, and now we're down to just 2. And I'm not sure that works for me yet. So I apologize. Or appreciate your patience, because I haven't really been through all of these charts in any kind of detail yet. But this one, for example, this campaign had 300,000 people come visit. So what is this particular chart showing me? And this is all time. So I don't know what this means yet. And you can click on see all data, and sometimes it shows you different stuff. But this chart goes from 0 to 1, and there's nothing on it. Number of views. So again, some of these things I'm not sure yet really what they're trying to tell me. Leads, total referred. Now, and the other thing that I have yet to be able to tell them about this is that I love charts sometimes, but just looking at this chart, I prefer the old numbers. I so much prefer the old numbers because I could directly look at it and see total leads. And so I'm diving into something that I'm frustrated about right off the bat, and I'm sorry to upViral, because I have not had a chance to give them this feedback yet. And maybe you guys see this differently, because everybody has a different opinion about things. But, I mean, I have to roll over these things to see what the numbers are. And that just bothers... It's so radically different from what I'm used to. I'm not sure how to deal with these reports yet. I like kind of the old way of doing it, is really what's happening. And if you look at this, for example, I reported this morning. This chart only goes to 200. I know this campaign had tens of thousands of social metrics, each one. But for some reason, this chart only goes to 200. So I've reported this as a bug. Anyway, all right. I'm going to get out of this because so far there's not anything I'm really happy about in the report section. This one's nice. This one's visual. 52,000 open, 66,000 sent, 14,000 open. This one I can read. This one I like. This one's easy. The fraud. There's a new one for fraud, which was not there before. Again, this is a nice little chart that gives me some information. I'm not totally sure what active attempts and inactive attempts mean, so I still have some learning to do here. So let's get back to the setup section, and I know you guys are asking a couple of things. Eric said, what was the giveaway, Mitch, for this? In this particular campaign, and I'm going to make it so we can, I'm going to make it so we can see the sidebar. In this particular campaign, I'll just jump over to and notice you've got the new help system in here, which I have not run through. This is browser specific, and I am using a special browser for this particular version of upViral here. So I'm just going to do skip, and we will go to which one of these was live? This one was live. This is what the campaign looked like. It was enter to win the new Canon EOS R and more. It was $2,800 in prizes. It was simple because this was a just released camera at the time. Canon Rumors had a huge audience. It wasn't something we needed to explain in a lot of detail. So I did not do some of the stuff I do for other campaigns now. It was very simple. Win a camera. The second prize is a choice of one of these two lenses. Okay, and it was open worldwide. Contest ended in October 2018, I think it was. It was a while ago. So it was a very simple campaign. Win a camera. Hot new, just announced camera. Got a lot of attention, right? When we looked at the top of the page, we saw in the reports at the top of the page, it had see, I'm sorry, I am struggling with this report section. I honestly am struggling. I'll be honest, because that's the way I do it. $52,000 leads. Social interactions was 104,000. What I'm struggling with is I wish I had the screen grab of what it used to look like before the day, because I felt so much easier, right? This says direct visitors. Why is that the most important number? I'm sorry, upViral, I'm kind of razzing you here live, and as I struggle to go through it. This is social interactions, but where are the two numbers that said total visits and total leads? This is total leads. Why isn't this total visits? Why is this just direct visitors? I'm not going to diss it too much, but we had 300 and something thousand total visits. See, even this says direct visitors and referred visitors, and you have to add these two numbers together. We had a huge referral traffic on this campaign. people wanted to win this because they got lots of points. I just got dinged, and I'm looking at my watch to see if upViral's messaging me and saying to shut up. Sorry. I don't think this is portraying the message as clearly as we were seeing it before. And until I got these live bits of data, it's hard to be able to say it was wrong when I was asked to do the beta test. So you're getting some of my raw gut feel, and I'm sorry about that because, again, I'm struggling just to recognize what we used to have versus what we have now. So we got a ton of traffic, right? And the interesting thing about this campaign was it was 2 emails that we sent out and a couple of social media posts. And because he had this massive traffic, he had a website that get 2 or 3 million views a month. And because it was a hot camera, he didn't have to do a lot of promotion. He got 52,000 leads with virtually no promotion. It was a fascinating campaign. But let's go back into the setup section, because this is where you're going to spend your time. And did you see that up here in the upper right hand corner? It does the save for you. It tells you when it's doing the save. Let me go back through some of the comments that I've missed. It would be nice. Mike says, hi, Mike. Did I see you before? If they add the numbers on the top of the graphs. I'm not sure what the best view is, but we need the numbers instead of rolling over. That's for sure. Maybe they could add a toggle view to see the bar chart or the numbers. And that's something I'm going to be asking for. Yes, absolutely, 1,000,000%. Because I'll tell you, one of the things I'm already missing, I'm going to open the reports here in a separate tab again. If you go to traffic, and this is a bad campaign to look at. Let me switch to one of my other recent contests for clients. Where the heck is it? Closed, because it's closed. Fuji, this one. Go to reports. So if I go to traffic, this is one that we used the upViral custom tracking links on. And if I click on see all data, then you can see all the different tracking links we used. And some of this stuff is garbage, but because somebody was hacking us in this particular campaign. But these are the custom tracking links. And this used to be displayed in a table. And so you could see visits, conversions, leads, and a conversion rate. There's no conversion rate here. What is... I got 587 visits, 39 conversions. Is 7 the... I don't understand what these numbers even are, right? Let me go up and see. Total visits, total leads, and conversion rate. So they're displaying conversion rate as part of the bar chart. And I have to put a big on this one, because that just doesn't work for me. I don't want to scroll over all of these things to see what the conversion rate is, especially when you compare it like to these big numbers. I'm sorry, upViral. I'm sorry. I'm not too happy with that yet. Relax, Mitch. It would be great if they gave definition for the labels and the math to come up with their derived totals. Yes, I agree. Agree with Mike on a rollover icon with a definition pop-up. What do you mean without any promotion? How did they seed the campaign? So in the Canon Rumors one, he had an existing list of 30,000. We added 52,000 to it. So the first thing he did was he sent an email to the 30,000 and said, this is open. Then he posted on social media and said, "Hey, I'm running a contest." That's it. That was the first thing that we did. And we didn't do anything else in towards the middle end of it, because the guy that owns Canon Rumors is a good friend of mine, and he just doesn't like to over promote stuff. And so my recollection, because again it was 2 years ago, is we sent out an email like a week with a week left to go saying, "Hey, by the way, there's a week left to go," and that's where the second spike came from. So that's what I mean by there wasn't any promotion. He wasn't running ads. He wasn't running any specific campaign stuff. We just sent a couple of emails, and he posted on his social media. Some of the difficulties may come from a non-upViral user doing the programming. That's specifically, Mike, why I begged them to let me in weeks, if not months before, because I would rather them have stuff that shows up and works, as opposed to us having to do this. And I'm not trying to air any dirty laundry or anything. I'm not saying they're bad people. I think that we need a little bit more user input. If I put on my hat of a user group, people that are using the tool, it would be really nice to be able to like preview where they're going, to give them a thumbs up or thumbs down before it goes public. That's all I'm really sort of wanting. In other words, if you don't have the experience of upViral campaigns as a user, the reporting would look great. You're looking through it the eyes of experience. Yes, exactly. Bingo. And I've said enough. I've probably said too much. But this is the kind of stuff, by the way, that inside my members group, you will be getting this kind of honest truth-telling. And I'm not saying they're lying. Don't get me. Do not read into that kind of stuff. I'm just simply saying, when you have access to me, I'm going to tell you like it is. The goods, the bads, and the uglies. I'm not perfect. They will admit, I think, that they're not perfect. And hence we should just kind of move on and not... Because the rest of it is absolutely rocking. Okay? Good stuff. And thank you for being here, Troy. I appreciate Troy. Troy's a good guy. Troy's doing some really good stuff. Lenny, you are the power user. You can document some of the improvements, and maybe we'll all submit the same report so it's heard. I don't think it's a matter of them not hearing me. It's a matter of they got a lot of things on their plate. They've been trying to bring on new people, new programming staff, and I go back and I'll say it again. The key is this is a fantastic update for those of us on the back end to be able to work forwards with new technology instead of being stuck with the old stuff. It was important for them to really do this. And I know Ben. I talked to Ben many times, and I know he was under an absolute crushing deadline to get this stuff done. If he had had more time to spend with me, he would have done it, I think. I don't know, but I even took them away for practically a day because I thought there was somebody in the system hacking, and they had to spend time proving to me that I was wrong, that it was just a customer that was doing naughty bits. And I won't go any farther than that. Linda says, I have tips for the issues to overcome that they can overcome. Yes. He claims to have a better platform to rush updates. Yes. I firmly believe that this technology that they're now using is so much better. I saw it last night. I saw them physically make changes within 2 hours. And Wilco said it this morning, like you're saying, Lenny. This is a much better technology for them to be able to implement stuff. They used to be on a 2-week sprint, and they probably still are. And a sprint is just kind of like a phased testing implementation. And realistically, they're probably still doing that. But this also gives them the ability to, as Lenny said, to rush in an update when they need to. And that's good. That's great for us. It used to be kind of difficult sometimes because when there was a bug found, we could wait for a week or 2 or 3 before we saw the fix. And I know I'm just blasting them a bit on the reports, and I apologize. I apologize, guys. The rest of this is really awesome. So let's keep rushing through this. Although I laugh because I'm frustrated by this page as well. This idea of a grand prize kind of bothers me the way it's worded. And the key to this, even though I'm bothered by it, and I told them I was bothered by it a month and a half ago, my suspicion is there's more coming on this button. That's my suspicion. And then, again, they don't tell me what's coming. But I objected to this being called a grand prize because when you click it, when you click edit, all you're really doing here is deciding whether you're doing a manual selection, a most points winner, and at random, and having a close date. Now, there is a box here for grand prize name, but I haven't found any place yet, and maybe I just haven't found it, where that is actually referenced somewhere. And this is where my suspicion comes in, is that maybe what they're going to do is implement some of the things that I've been suggesting for a while, in that maybe you could reference a square bracket, or curly bracket, grand prize in the body of the editor, for example, and you don't have to constantly keep typing whatever that thing is. What I said to Benjamin as well, what happens if I have 3 prizes? And I didn't get an answer, so I'm suspecting potentially there's something going on there. I don't know. We'll see. The idea here inside of this is that what you're doing is selecting the close date and the way that it would pick if you're going to let upViral send out an email. And this is where I always say, don't ever, ever, ever pick one of these other things and let upViral do anything with it. Do it manually. The incentives, and so that what they've also done here is they've streamlined the process. You can get through creating a new campaign much faster than you could before. And it doesn't really feel like it, maybe seem like it, because there are fewer things in this list. But there's some cool stuff in here. So what they did was they took what was labeled as sweepstakes and what was labeled as rewards and put it into incentives. So that's 2 things in the same box. So similar things, if you want to create a reward, I'm slowing down and breathing. If you want to do a coupon code, then all of this stuff down here changes. If you want to do a file download, then you just do the stuff differently. They have labeled things, and you will see this throughout, where they have cleaned up some of the labeling, because inside the rewards before, it never told you that, oh, by the way, the people are going to see the words that you put in this box. So now they're saying this is public. What is it? What are you calling it? And oh, by the way, this is public, so people are going to see it. I'm going to make Lenny's comment go away. I do appreciate this comment, Lenny. Maybe they fear modeling same stats on other platforms. None of the platforms have decent stats. Of any of the ones that I've tested, upViral had the best before today. And, I mean, there are some of them, like I think it was King Sumo that I looked at, where it just simply said visits, leads, and that was it. Visits and total leads. And I'm like, can you break that down a little? So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Again, you can pick different options here. It works virtually the same way as it used to work. Now, you do have to click save here, where I told you before it was saving everything. You do, and there are a couple of instances where you have to do this. I'm going to just, because this is an old campaign, I'm not going to actually do that, because I shouldn't be editing an old campaign. That's part of the problem, right? Let's go to the points. And this is where it's showing me the help text. Interestingly enough, they've moved the referred lead up a box. And if I make this much smaller, right? So typically, because I have an iMac, if I had this full screen, it would look like this, and you guys have a hard time seeing this, I'm sure, which is why I've blown it up. But the third box is where the referrals, this is the one, it used to be the fourth box, and they've put the referred visits last. And that's okay, that's a good change. The other thing that's on here, and you know what, I'm gonna, because it's an existing campaign, it's a lot easier if I'm not messing with, I'm just gonna go create a new one. I'm going to just do it differently. Tests. We're going to just run through this really fast. And this is how you can see that it's really quick, right? I don't have to do any of that stuff. I can jump straight to points. I'm going to do, oh, that's interesting. Not a number. Huh. It's saving. Oh, man. Just found a bug. Huh. I wonder what's going on there. Richard, oh, you make me laugh. Hey, Mitch, can you explain how the points work again? I'm not sure. I love you, Richard. Richard made a smarty comment this morning on the Wilco call because he talked about the Copilot show. Anyway, on the Copilot show, I've had to go through the how you make points thing multiple times. So, isn't that interesting? We've just found a bug. Why is that not working? These are all coming up with not a number. I'm going to hit refresh, and we're going to see that it's still not working. Isn't that bizarre? Do I have to specify something? Why is that not suddenly not working? Can I put a number in there? I can. All right. Well, we'll figure out what that's all about later. And you may start getting annoyed actually when you see up here in the corner where it's saying saved, because that's kind of where most alerts pop up. So you kind of have to start learning to ignore that. The glory here, and of course you can do the custom points or the points for social interaction, but the glory here is the new custom action builder. And this is the thing that I told Lenny early that was my favorite feature. And I like to think that I had some influence here. I don't know whether I did or not, but I do know when I was talking to Benjamin early on, I complained strongly about the existing, or the previous now, custom action builder, And he listened to me, and I'm sure he listened to other people. It's not just me. But, I like to pat myself on the back. But this is brilliant in that on the left-hand side, you can build the custom actions. And what I told Ben was, often we spend time typing in, what is your favorite color? Or, follow us on Facebook, or come to this link and join this Facebook group, or all this stuff. And you get tired of typing those things. And then you went down and you had to pick a color, and you had to pick an icon. And the icon picker was a royal pain because you had to search for Facebook. And I said, what if, you guys know I'm talking about Facebook, what if you knew it already and you filled that stuff out for me? And glory be. And again, I don't think it was just me. I think Benjamin really took this and ran with it, and other people gave input. So I'm not just saying it's me. But so the key here is you say, well, I want somebody to like us on our page on Facebook. Notice it scrolled down and the cursor is flashing down here for Facebook. So I could put a page name in, like Giveaway Rocket. And notice over here that the thing has already got the Facebook colors and the Facebook icon. This is like, woohoo kind of stuff. This is ring the bells stuff. This is so much nicer than what we had before. I am so excited about this one. Virtual pat on the back for Mitch, Richard says. And again, I don't know if it was just me, but they took my thoughts and ran with it, and bless their heart. And maybe other people put in feedback. I don't know. But this is glorious. Uh-oh. Why did the color suddenly go? What did I do? Why did the color change? But it does cool stuff. Let's clear it and start over. Share link on, let's go with Reddit. They changed the colors. They changed the icon. This is so cool. This is so much nicer. And notice I'm trying to change the number here, and it's changing the color up here. I don't think that's right. I think that's a bug. I love finding bugs. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And I'm just going to type a number in here and see if that... 100 points. So what happens, by the way, can I put in 9,999? I can. Can I put in another number? Nope. My limit is 4 digits. Okay. Dang it. Shucks. But where I get in trouble is that plus. See, when I click on the plus, the color changes. Benjamin! But this is so cool. And by the way, down here is the question. Now, I kind of teased him last night. I said, well, wait a minute. You're up here. If I created a subscribe to YouTube channel, why isn't the default thing like, what is your username on YouTube? I mean, maybe you could make that connection, right? I don't know. But they've also got the multiple choice option. And it's not incredibly obvious that it's a multiple choice kind of thing that you're building. But once you start doing it, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. So my user is Planet Mitch. Let's add another one. Let's say my username is Lenny. And let's say another option is Richard with a lowercase r. Okay. And now, I think it's here. It is here. Yes, so you can test it right here. And just by clicking on the custom action. And I think I might be in trouble. I think we might have found a bug. but we're going to see. So you would have to go click on that, but right now I can also do this. So I can select an answer. So that's how the drop down works. If I do that, oh good, it's still here. I thought maybe it was not going to save. But you also have to, before you hit the add, you have to select one as the correct answer. So we're going to make Lenny the correct answer. So now you have, Richard says, I know this one, it's Lenny. Maybe the little green face to tell them. Yeah, I guess you could do that. This is, Wilco mentioned this, how would you rate your experience? You guys, I think Wilco said not to submit bug reports, but to use this for what your experience is. I think that's what he said. Now, I happen to have a direct connection to Benjamin, so I'm doing bug reports directly to him. But enhancements, I'm going through their new feature request system. So they mentioned that this morning as well. Let me just show you that again. The URL for that was feature something, but I have a shortcut called up.feature. And it's features.upviral.com. So you can come in here and submit things that you want them to work on that are not currently in the existing system. Lenny says, you'll get a shirt a day for all those bugs. I just want it fixed. I already have a shirt. I need a new shirt, but I just want some of these things to work. That's all. So anyway, there is this new section in features.upviral.com, and there is, under consideration, there is currently planned stuff. And this is kind of cool. I discovered this today, that there is an Elementor component they're working on. Oh, Deborah says, he did say this is for showing a suggested improvement because you can add a screenshot to clarify. Okay, thank you. Ben asked me to send in my stuff via this tool, so I'll be doing that. But that's okay. You guys can use what Wilco told you to do. So this Elementor thing has to do with a client that I'm working with right now where we had problems, and there are at least one other person I know that's having trouble with Elementor. And then there's the in progress. So here's the drag and drop editor that we talked about. So I know that's in work because I've got it on this page. Customer manageable account testing and logging. So they're showing you some stuff if you want to poke around in here. There's 6 of them coming soon. So there you go. Richard, do you know Elementor? Site-wide widgets. I don't know what that means. I'll have to read some of these because I have not spent time on these yet either. But this is in fun stuff. And then launched, they have autosave. They've got this new dashboard for this stuff. Custom actions builder. See, that's implemented. We're talking about that right now. Date range, dashboard, data, allowing high-level overview of all user data. And so that's the date range we've been seeing. Richard says, I'm a big fan of Elementor. Well, good. Update the user interface and campaign creation flow. So this is the thing that was implemented today. Kudos. It's on the done list. We'll look at the custom links in a little bit, by the way. This UTM builder is something that I don't think Wilco mentioned either. Let's get back to where we were. Oh, so I was over on this tab. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to lower my desk. I've been having some pain in my feet. I usually stand, but I'm getting a little pain today. The one thing, by the way, that is missing is the ability to sort these custom actions. I mentioned this to Ben last night, and this morning he said that will be implemented in a couple of days, actually. So it's coming soon. Don't get too panicked over it. Deborah, what? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Under consideration is 2FA for campaigns. What does that mean? Am I missing something? Oh, two-factor authentication. Yeah. I agree. That would be cool. So you will be, getting back to the custom actions, you'll be able to reorder these. So right now, if you're building a brand new campaign and you want them to appear in a certain order on the sharing page or in the widget, you got to build them in that order to begin with. It will just be a couple of days, he said, for these to be able to be draggable. Yeah, I got it, Deborah. I got it. I think you're probably just behind where I am. The other thing, I don't know if you noticed that this sidebar automatically scrolls down so you don't have to go pop up to the top. I love that too. It's especially nice for me doing demos because, again, I would normally be seeing it at the, kind of this resolution on my iMac, so it doesn't need to scroll. But when I'm doing demos and I have the screen kind of beefed up, zoomed in so you can see it. Can I go one more time? No, it goes away. I'm getting an update on where my daughter is on her drive home. Bless your heart. Linda says, I'm sorry, Deborah. I have multiple WordPress sites for my own and my clients being pounded on right now, so I'm particularly conscious of security. Yeah, that's cool. I get it. All right, back to here. We've only done incentives and points. All right. Template design. This is nothing new, right? This is the same old stuff kind of that you had before. There is more good explanation of this this process here. And I've skipped the help on this, so I've already bypassed it. It is good that this says this because it does tell you that you can switch from a landing page to a widget. But note, I'm going to blow this up. If you want to change the type of campaign, you will lose all of your templates. Okay, so if you build landing pages and you want to switch to widgets, you're going to lose all of your landing pages. What they are suggesting, though, is and I appreciate this because they're saying, all right, so if you want to switch, just go duplicate your campaign so that you save your templates, right? It's wonderful that they've made the time to add something like this because that just, for most users, especially newbies, they're not going to necessarily recognize that they could, I can clone that. I'll save it that way. And they would have a fear of switching. So I love the way they're doing that. And they are obviously recognizing the screen resolution here. If you make it too big, they tell you you got to do something a little smaller. And I'm just doing that because I'm increasing the font size so you can read it. And this is where it becomes absolutely no different than what we had before, right? Toronto, pick a template, change it, do whatever, switch the colors. If you've gone to my store, plug, and you go download these instant campaign clone scripts. By the way, this is how you use those. You like select a bit of text or a word or a number, whatever, and you go into code view, and I'm doing it a little differently because I have the text saved. But if I do ut.landingpage.top body, I can paste in a whole bunch of HTML stuff, and bang, I have a Mitch template. Right? So that's a way of getting sample text kind of stuff in there quickly. If you want those are free. But that's how I often start a page, is by cloning an old one, right? Start something. Why rebuild life? Use it from before. And so those are available to you for free. I'm going to just do a save. You can change the title. You know, this is similar stuff to what we had before. You can add form fields, terms and conditions. It's just a prettier view of the same old template editor. And so I'm going to get out. You know how that works. I'm not going to do the social share because you guys know how that works. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. We're going to go to social appearance. Now, again, you're seeing that UP, and you shouldn't. Yesterday, I didn't see that. Eric Williamson asks, can we share or import campaigns from one another? Look at my face. I don't know. My hack will get you there, but this is one thing that might be coming in the future. Mary Lee, Mitch, do you normally ask people to okay the TNC? Absolutely do, even in the United States, even for USA only campaigns. Because, frankly, I want to cover my butt as a campaign owner. And I understand that legally people can still sue my ass. Said ass on public. But that's not... I want them to at least be acknowledging that there are rules and... Yes. And in fact... Oops, I just made that bigger. And in fact, when I did a campaign for Fuji, they had a paragraph. It was like a paragraph that their lawyers said, you got to make them click this box. It will cut down on your conversions a little bit, because everything you add to your form will cause somebody to go, oh, I don't want to do that. And they'll leave, right? So the more data you add to your form, the fewer people you're going to get to convert. But my feel is that one's important. Now, this one's interesting because they've changed the way this looks, and they're actually probably going to even change this bit. I did have a problem with Safari where I could not drag something into here. And by the way, Mary Lee... I'm going to give you another plug. When we are in the Movers program, we will be looking at everybody's campaign as they're building them, and you can ask me those kind of questions. You will have access to me to be able to ask those questions. You won't have to post them on a forum. You'll get one-on-one. We'll be in a Zoom call, and you can ask me anything you want. So as you're building campaigns... I would love for you guys to be in the Movers program, because you're going to see a whole different world of better ways to do stuff by working together instead of just asking questions on a Facebook group that may or may not get answered. And so there's another plug. I think if AJ or Lenny are still here, they will tell you the access and the information they've learned on the first 2 calls has been through the roof. Um, uh, there are different views of Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest than we've had before. Uh, my understanding from Ben last night is that this was a required, but I think they've changed this because I've typically. Let's just find out. Let's just freaking find out. I'm going to do select a photo, and I'm going to go to my samples that I also give people access to. And we're going to grab one. We're going to grab this one that is 1200 by 628. It says saved, but I don't see the image. So maybe they didn't change this yet. I'm just going to hit refresh. There it is. It's there. So you can do different sizes than what they recommended. They were trying to sort of limit us to those numbers, and I said, no, that ain't going to work. But you won't see the image here. You used to see it in both places. You will probably not see the image here. This is just like for the upload. And then you will see the image over here. So you can still do the title and the description and all that kind of stuff. But your preview is now side by side, so you don't have to scroll up and down. And it's a lot easier when you're working with a client to say, okay, let's change the text here, and they see it. They're watching over on this side to see exactly what it's going to look like to an end user. Marilee says, is that a Movers Benefit live Zoom group? Yes, we are meeting once a week, if not more. Right now we're scheduled for once a week, but we did a special session yesterday because Brent wanted to launch a campaign pretty soon, so we did a complete review of his campaign yesterday. And we got feedback from everybody else who was on the call. This is, yes, the Movers Benefit. If you go over to, not there, but if you go to my store and look at the movers, there's a description down here of all the different things that you will get inside of the movers program, including all of my free stuff if you haven't already gotten it. So social appearance is great. And notice I don't have to click save. The stuff is already saved for me. Email notifications. This is it's the same stuff, just a different kind of format. And notice that they have taken the incentives and put them in a separate little spot. I'm sorry, I'm just reading Deborah's question. Yes, that's the link, Deborah. Thank you for that. So, these are all, there's nothing new here other than they've split this up. Typically, I'm doing template 2. I'm sorry. I'm doing basic template, even though they call, it's the second position. But most of the stuff is the same that it was before. Not anything really special new here. So I'm going to skip on. We're going to go to autoresponder. This is still basically the same. Let's see if I can go to Klaviyo. This is one of my clients' lists. So this stuff is still the same. And let's go to the advanced tab. Mike! Oh my gosh. Celebration for Mike. Mike says, I joined movers on the call. Looking forward to the good times. Way to go, Mike. Thanks. Good to have you here. Great to have you. Appreciate that. And why the screen is doing that? Yeah, I don't know. I'll fix it someday. The advanced settings. I had a little conversation with Benjamin about this, and I obviously did not win this battle. And I now can no longer show you the old version. I should have taken a whole bunch of screen grabs before it changed. I'm a little frustrated by the amount of clicks you have to do here, but it's not that big a deal. If you have... I have a script. Let's see, what's it called? I never remember. I'll look at Facebook, right? Pixel, that's what I want. Pixel. So I'm using a shortcut tool called Typinator, if you haven't seen me do that before. I save all kinds of stuff in my Typinator, and I know you can't see the top of the screen, but when I do this, you can see part of it up here, you see where my cursor is. But it's a keyboard shortcut tool, and I save a lot of the stuff I do as shortcuts, and therefore they're like snippets or scripts, and I type a couple of characters, and a whole bunch of stuff appears. So I am using Connect Retarget, and this is the script I have when I want to load that in upViral. Now, those used to be just text fields, so I could go bang, bang, bang down the screen and paste those in. Now I have to do click to edit and paste it and do save. It's a little bit more work, but I also understand from the perspective of this is all in one spot. It's easy to see. I don't have to do a whole lot of scrolling. Mary Lee asks, what's the name of that tool? It's called Typinator. And it's Mac only. Type in a Typinator. And actually it says, I just saw a Typinator for Windows or something, but it's this tool. I use this thing all day, every day. I don't know how people survive without it. Mike says, it sounds like Text Expander. It is. It's exactly like Text Expander. It's just a different tool, right? So, for example, I'll give you a quick demo. If I type PMR up here at the top, you see that now I have planetmitch@giveawayrocket.com. That's my email address. I got my entire email address just by typing PMR. How many times a day do you type out your full email address? If you're not using keyboard shortcuts, then you do it often. And you probably say to yourself, God, I wish I didn't have to type all this. And if you have a smartphone, smartphones have the ability to do text shortcuts, so why don't you have a tool to do it on your desktop? But here's the drop down, and if I type in the letter R, and I know you can't really see the whole thing, but Typinator has this screen at the top. LastPass is very different, Richard. Very different. But you can't see where my cursor is at the top of the screen. But I typed just the letter R, and all of my shortcuts that have the letter R in it are appearing. And so you can see I've got a lot of text shortcuts. I use them all day, every day. LastPass, Richard, is for your passwords. And yeah, maybe you can do a couple of keyboard shortcuts and stuff, but Typinator and Text Expander are growth tools purely for text, not passwords. And you can see it doing a demo here, right? So he types TFO and you get that whole paragraph. I love Typinator, and I would not be able to live without it. Anyway, on the advanced settings, there's also a toolbar up here that gets you to all of the different... I'm sorry, another message came in. Richard says it saves me typing in my email address. Yeah, yeah, LastPass probably does that. But I use Typinator for so many other things. Sorry, I have to have some water. The advanced settings gets you to the new geo-targeting, by the way. Now, geo-targeting was in the old upViral. It's in the new upViral, but it is so much cooler. The reason being that, awesomely, I mentioned this to Benjamin, and I said, well, what if you were in Europe? So they've added this region over here. So the idea is they list a ton of countries over here, and you can pick the ones that you want to add to your geo-targeting. So only people in this country, or the countries listed that are active, can register for your campaign. So they can type their email address in there, but if their IP address is in Myanmar, that's not Myanmar. I'm not sure what that country is. If your IP address is in that country, then you can enter the campaign. If it's not, you're out. And you get an error message. This is really cool. And so what they did, because you could do this in the previous upViral, but it was really difficult if you had multiple countries that you wanted to target. And so what they've done is they've added this region. So if you want to grab everybody in Africa, then you get everybody in Africa. All of the countries in Africa get brought in for you. If you decide that you want North America, Central America, United States, Grenada, Canada, Bermuda, you could say, well, I don't want Bermuda and I don't want Greenland, but the rest are okay, right? So you know, and that's saved automatically. I don't have to click save anywhere. Awesome. The ability to do this geolocation is awesome, especially now that they've added this region selection. So you can add Antarctica, and notice it's additive. So I selected Antarctica, but I already had the United States and stuff added, so they've added to the list. So it's additive on this side. If you want to just restrict to that region, you got to remove all first. Deborah asked, is it by country or can I get hyperlocal? No, you can't get hyperlocal. As you've just discovered, it's by country. But it's better than what we've had before. I would love to be able to do a smaller region than this, but I'll take this. Mike says, gotta run. Ta-ta for now. Thank you, Mike, for joining the Movers program. Looking forward to see you. Our next call, by the way, is Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Same time as this call. Friday. Zoom call. Be there, Mike. You'll have to introduce yourself, too. Thanks for being here. Richard says, finally, I can do the same thing American websites do to me. Sorry, because of GDPR, we don't want you to see our content because of legal BS. Yes, Richard, that's I agree. And hopefully, I have not tested this yet, but their error message to people will be on my enhancement list. I don't like the error message that comes out, but hopefully they've changed it. General setup. Auto redirect. These are all the same. UTM tracking is brand new stuff. And there was UTM in there before, but you can create new UTM tracking if you want. So if you're doing that, you could, so if you know what UTM is, it has to do with Google Analytics default kind of stuff. Everybody's kind of standardized on it. Oh, Tracy said she's leaving. I'm sorry. Eric asked, is there a report of all the IP addresses of signups? In the download, I can show you that export. Yes. Richard says I can get him to test. Perfect. I can also do testing because I have a VPN that will let me switch countries. But thank you for your offer. Eric, I'll tell you really quickly. I'll go over here and I go to leads. And here is the export button. I have not actually tried this since we updated. But go to leads and go to export, and you guys are seeing some email addresses. Obviously, you're not going to grab email addresses and steal them because they didn't sign up to your campaign. But what I'm doing is I'm opening this in numbers, the CSV, CBS. That's my new pharmacy, by the way. So in the export, if I make this go away, yes, I don't care about that, go away. In the export, you will see a column as I scroll over for IP address. So all of the, just made a screenshot, Richard says. You cannot steal this stuff. But, so you can, yes, see every IP address from every user right here. There is so much cool data in here. You guys are going to love this if you get really active with it. I added in this particular campaign these extra fields because my client wanted this extra data. And these are the custom action questions in this particular campaign. So you get all of that data. You get all of your custom fields. You get all of the data from upViral, although they don't give you a couple of fields that I really wish I could get, and I will still be talking to them about adding some fields. But there's a lot of stuff inside of here. Like you can sort, obviously, when you get it in a spreadsheet, you can sort by points, right? I can say sort descending, and I can just scroll down and see all the different people and how many people got more than 100 points, or if I have rewards. Now, it does not tag me in here, which is one of the other things I keep wanting to submit. It doesn't show if there was a reward, whether they earned it, which I think they should add. But yes, this data does come in. Eric says, this is huge for me. That's game-changing for my clients. What I often do for my clients is I just hand them the CSV and they do whatever they want to with it. So not all of my clients do I create in an autoresponder for them. Sometimes they just want the export, and they can go do whatever they want to with the export. So yeah, that data is in here. You just have to know you can go get it. Now, that being said, if I go back to upViral and I'm in the leads section, if I click on somebody's details, upViral will bring that up, right? So they can see, here's the location based on their IP address. Here's the person that referred them. Here's their email address, their referral link, the campaign, the name, all this other stuff. These 4 of those custom fields that I told you we added in this campaign. And if you scroll down here, you can see who they referred. And if they've entered other campaigns in your world, in your database, you can see them. Not if they've entered somebody else's, right? But if I have people that come in all the time to some of my campaigns because I send out to my list. So I often will click on this. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, this is sorted by points the wrong way. If I sort this by points, let me pick Igneous. I know this guy. He, as I scroll down, huh? I'm pausing because I'm scratching my head. And by the way, none of the other tools give you this kind of data. None of the other tools that I'm aware of. I have not tested all of them, but none of the other tools give you all this stuff that I know of. The I understand what's going on. If I've picked the wrong campaign to show you this, and I won't go into any detail. But if you could see it, if they signed up for other campaigns, they would be listed there. And I'm just gonna get out of there because that's a bad example. But the other part of what I wanted to show you is let's hold on to the UTM stuff. And I know this call is going along. If you have questions, keep popping these in because I appreciate you. There's a lot of stuff in here that's kind of hidden. Here, if Lenny, if you're still here, you asked me about great features. Look at this one. Review and start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the campaign I sort of started building, but I didn't really do a whole lot. I'm going to click on this review and start. Now this is awesome for the new folks because what it does is it lists all the different steps, and if you haven't done something, it will have a big red mark on it. I was actually on... Oh, yeah, this is test. I'm sorry, I went to the wrong one. If I come over here, you will see that, and I specifically, if you remember, did not do the sharing template. It shows me there's an error here. You must select a template for both lead capture and social sharing. So they are doing some error checking for us. And you can see whether or not you've got data in the incentives. You can see whether or not you got the grand prize defined. Whether or not you've got enough data to run a campaign with points. Whether you've got the social appearance done. This is really cool. This is very different than any other tool as well. And I love this. I will note that I reported that this doesn't particularly work right. If I click it right now, I believe it will go somewhere really wonky. Because it goes to the promote tab, but it's not really active because it says closed, right? So I reported this to Ben last night. Because that campaign isn't really ready. And it took me to report. See, so if I go to review and start, and I click that, it's not. I'm stuttering. You guys know what I mean. But this is a great screen, especially for newbies or even us old fogies, because you can quickly come in and see what's set, what's not set. It doesn't give you all the details, but guess what? If you want to go poke around in here, you can just click on it and it takes you right to the spot where you need to be. So I love that. It's a really great feature that they have added, and Wilco didn't even mention it this morning that I remember. I don't remember him saying anything about it. Maybe he did. Maybe somebody can fix me and correct me. But I love this. And there will be, I don't know if I don't think it's a surprise. I don't know that Wilco's mentioned it, but they are working on something to be able to have a campaign be in test mode before you go live. And thank you, Tracy. Enjoy your time with your daughter. I appreciate that. I know you said it was late and you have to go. Thank you for tuning in. Richard says, you probably already know this, if your client are going to store use IP address for this counts as personal information, and so actual consent should be given by the person who opts in. And if the people, by the way, Richard, upViral says they are 100% GDPR compliant. If you go to upviral.com/GDPR, they say they are 100% compliant. And theoretically, the people who tick the box, they can go look that up, that upViral is it's so, yes. Theoretically, that should not be a problem. Richard says, yes, you have to sign a contract. I don't know. Again, I'm not a GDPR guy. And it partly is some of the reason why some of my clients are doing USA only. Because they don't want to mess with that. Richard says, you are the data handler, so you are responsible. Okay. Yes, I'm responsible. But I do also understand, if I'm not mistaken, that the first action by anybody should be, hey, what's my data? What data are you storing for me? And upViral can give us that data to share with them. And if they want themselves removed, they can be removed. So, again, my understanding is that upViral itself should be taking care of all of those rules, but it doesn't hurt if you want to tick the box and add some additional language in there for GDPR, then absolutely do that. I'm going to make this smaller and move it a little bit. All right. Oh, man. So we've gotten through the entire setup. We've got to promote where we were going to go a few minutes ago. We've been in reports and batched that to heck. I'm just showing you the leads. We'll go to winners and split tests and fraud in a minute. But inside the promote tab, they've added some stuff. And they were all these pieces were there again before. They've just made it sorry, we're also doing a dinner thing, and my wife has started an order. Anyway, we'll be done soon enough that I can fix that. All right. Whew, you know, real life happens out here, doesn't it? This used to be split up on 3 different tabs. Now it's all in the same thing. So this is your link. They've added these buttons, so if you want to just freaking tweet it on Twitter, bam, there you go. You can do that. If you want to share it on Facebook, bam, there you go. They've given you all of the buttons here to go do that. Those weren't there before, as I recall. But here's your default link. If you need the one-click sign-up, and we could talk about one-click sign-ups for an hour, that data is here as well. They have gracefully, bless their hearts, automatically, and this is different than the old system, bless their hearts, here's another minor little change. Since I selected Klaviyo on the autoresponder tab, they've brought it over here. It used to be that you had to go select it. So that's tiny little nuance that they have done better for us. I could still select something else. But if you're doing the one-click link, and I highly advise that you learn how to do this, and my movers, by the way, will know how to do this intimately, that's all right here for you. And the UTM, or the custom tracking links, as they used to call them, are here. So in a short lesson, if you were, for example, going to run 5 different Facebook ads, and you come in here and you do Facebook ad 1 and hit go, or hit the plus, it's down here. I needed to scroll up a little. So I actually added it twice. Shame on me. Oh, they've got a filter now, too. Cool. I don't know why it added it twice, though. That should be something I should report. This is really awesome. So if I were going to do a Facebook ad 2, right? Now what you do is you copy that link and you take it over to your Facebook ad builder. And now everybody that comes in from a specific link, you can see what their conversion rate is, how many people came in, that kind of stuff over in the reports tab. Or you can do it via UTM. So if you start building your UTM code, you can do that if you would rather do UTM tracking. But that, I believe, will also show up on the reports tab. I just haven't played with it yet. But that's really, really awesome stuff inside the promote tab. I use custom tracking links all the time. Highly advise you spend a little time learning about this if you haven't done it before. We also already looked at that. We looked at the leads. There is a way you can delete leads, but I would advise you, by the way, never to delete leads. Don't delete them, because let's suppose you get a guy that's doing a scam or a fraud, and you delete him. He can come back in, but you've also lost the data that you found out that he's a fraud, and you can blacklist him. You can do all kinds of other stuff. Just don't delete people unless you're doing testing. I come in here and I delete people when I'm doing testing all the time. But it just reminded me, I don't see a function here. I'll have to go poking around to reset the stats. That's missing. See, the stuff you learn when you go in and you start doing real work. And I know this isn't real work, but we need to be able to wipe the stats out, because when you're doing testing, you don't want that data carrying over to when you go live. So I'll have to remember to send that to Benjamin. The winner's selection screen. I don't have any leads, so it's not going to do any good, but you just go in and pick either at random or most points. Technically, you don't even have to do most points because you can just sort it by leads, right? But you can select winners. I don't have any people in here, so it's not going to show anybody. But it does show you who they are, what their email address, and total points, and who referred them. And the tip here is that you don't want to do this live because people will see that email address. If you're doing a live stream, you don't want people seeing the winner's email address live. Don't do it. Split tests. Notice there's a reset for this. That's interesting, but we don't have one on the reports. Split tests are awesome. You should do them often. I'm not going to go through all of that stuff right now. You can figure that out. And then finally, we have fraud detection. I'm going to have to come in and play with some of this. Let's see if we go to one of my previous campaigns. Let's go to the Fujiya. Let's go to the Canon Rumors one. Because I haven't really looked at this yet. It was closed. And let's go to fraud detection. Um, I do know that something that's missing that I'm going to ask for is sorts on these things, but what I'm just kind of glancing at is to see if there's anything new here. It does say possible fraud, but I'm going to have a whole conversation with my movers and with upViral about improvements I'd like to see here as well. But you see on that campaign, we had 52,000 people register. We had 1,556 possible fraud. It happens. People, most of these, for example, let's just pick this one. When you come in here, you can see who those people are and whether or not you think those are fake. Sometimes this is potentially likely husband and wife, or wife or brother or sister, or two people that are at the same office. So you have to kind of be careful. You can't just say, shame on you, you cheated, because there are cases where people live at the same IP address. upViral is doing some sophisticated stuff to try to look at that, but they can't stop everything. So anyway, that's a very long-winded look at everything that is in the new... Oh, they've got a feature request thing right here. Look at that. That's cool. You can get right there. Oh, Tracy asked me earlier about the affiliate program. If you want to become an affiliate for upViral, they got a link right there. You can go sell this to other people. And you can make money, and my legs are stuck to the chair. So here's the end of the presentation, my long-winded presentation. If you guys have, guys, gals, girls, guys, have any questions after that complete, thorough, crazy, long-winded walkthrough of upViral, let me know. We've been going 2 hours. Again, really awesome features inside the tool. Lots of good stuff. It is not the really kick butt, hey, everything's so much better, 10 tons of new features kind of thing, but there's some really good stuff in the feature release, and I'm excited for it, especially because, as I said before, they're building on new technology now, and they can take it leaps and bounds to new places because the technology is new. Richard says, have fun tonight. That's because my daughter is coming in. I don't know how far she is. She's still probably 2 or 3 hours away. Mary Lee, thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Mitch. A real behind-the-scenes look. Hopefully that served you well. I appreciate you being here. Lenny's still here. Looking forward to the Movers exclusive. Thank you for that plug. Again, if you want to go to giveawayrocket.com/join, you can find out about the Movers program. It's a weekly mastermind with all kinds of great stuff that we are providing to each other. The first 2 sessions, we've gotten lots of great input from everybody. It's not just Mitch. It's people like Lenny and AJ and the others. Linda's here. We have 12 people in right now. We are limiting it to 20 new people. So if you're interested in doing... God, I'm going brain dead because it's been a long day. Who was it that said he joined? Not Eric. Eric, what are you waiting for? It was Mike. Mike Bergida. Somewhere in my list of all the messages, I have a new member who joined. So, where is it? Mike, right there, said, joined movers on the call. Looking forward to the good times. So I'm excited. That's one. That means we've got 13, which means we've got 7 left. So I know several of you are thinking about it. Don't let the time slip away such that you forget, because after 20, we're going to wait a couple of months. We're going to craft things, figure out what's working and what's not working, and when I relaunch after the first 20, it's going to be double the price, if not more, because the value is insane for $97 a month. The people who get in now will be locked in at $97 a month as long as they stick around. It's a bargain, absolute bargain in my book. So thank you, Mike, for joining. I know you had to leave earlier. Anybody else that has any questions, we're happy to get on a one-on-one call if you need help. Richard says, TikTok, love the scarcity. And it's not really fake scarcity or anything. I want to keep it small so that I can serve people and get them their answers. As we figure out what's going on, I should be able to grow and add more people. I don't ever want to go above 100. I'm in a program right now, the Dream 100 that I was telling you about before, that currently has 40-something people. They're paying $397 a month. And 6, 8, 10 people show up on the calls. It's not everybody showing up on every call. So there is plenty of time to answer questions and get people moving. Again, the whole point of the Movers program is to get you moving. Deborah says, this was great. Thanks so much for sharing your knowledge so generously. I have to run too, because I go on blathering for 2 hours. I will check out your website and the Movers program. Would love to have you, Deborah, if it fits with you. And Richard says, I didn't say fake scarcity. I know you didn't. It is real scarcity. I'm just trying to serve the right number of people and get the program crafted so that I can serve more people in the way that y'all need it. But as you can see, I have intimate knowledge of what's going on. I have the ability to share what's worked and what hasn't worked. I've done 250,000 leads in my own account. In over 100 different campaigns. I have a ton of experience. I'm tooting my own horn, but all of that rolls into what you guys are going to get in terms of having a better campaign. The key here is to create a campaign that will move your business forward. Since the Movers label. That's the whole goal. I want you to be serving more people to change the world in the way that you need to change them with your special gifts. So I would love to have each and every one of you that is working right now to build your business. Don't join if you're not working. Frankly, I don't want you around if you're not working. If you're toying with things, it's not really going to help you to just sit and learn. What I want you to do is to join and move. So if that fits with you, if you have questions about it, again, message me. We will sit down and have a conversation. Find out if it's the right fit. If it's not the right fit, that's okay. Happy to chat with you about it. Keep watching. I will be live no more this week in terms of, as far as I know, unless I decide to do something different. I wanted to get on and serve people to go through the tool and see all the features, figure out what's working. And other than that, I will see the people in the Viral Hacking Challenge tomorrow. And I will see the Movers on Friday at 2 o'clock. Those of you who are in. Lenny says, who is in? Lenny is in. Seeing lots of campaign improvements already, and that is money. I appreciate that, Lenny. I didn't use many of my sounds today. I need to use them more because I love to have fun with stuff. I've got a whole bunch of them But I like some of these new ones I have.
Then more people love Mitch.
It's all about Mitch, right?
Mitch is here.
And this
Mitch
one,
is still here.
Mitch.
Mitch is still here.
Mitch
Mitch
is
is still here.
still here 2 hours later. Oh, Richard, thank you for your plug. Quality before quantity. Movers, action takers, $97 is a steal, no-brainer. This amazing dude knows his stuff. Thank you very much for the kind words, Richard. You've been sticking around for quite a while. Why aren't you moving? You probably are. I'm teasing. Thanks again. If you have any questions, let me know here. I will be happy to answer questions. Those of you watching a replay, also happy to have you come on board if you need anything. Message me and I will give you an answer. What do you call the cow with no legs, if you saw that? I'm sure you saw it because it's been scrolling the whole time. Cow with no legs is called ground beef. But there's those free email scripts. Those are all on the shop if you go to my store. Plug. All right, I will see you again soon. For sure, next Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern for the tip of the week. Make sure you tune in to that. It was great talking to you guys and gals. I need to go... Something beef. Richard, it's ground beef. Yes, thank you. Great talking to you guys. I will see you soon.
Oh my gosh, Mitch, do you hear yourself?
That's a great piece of advice.
Bye! Bye, everybody!
Bye.
Bye.
I had a fun time. Now turn that off. Okay, goodbye.